Welcome to Martini Mondays, your source for unfiltered wedding advice, always shaken, never stirred.
Hi guys, welcome back to Martini Mondays, and I am so excited. You know that we've started to go on location and out of my mom's living room, which has been really exciting. We're getting there. And we're here with Kate, and Kate is the owner of the Bridal Beauty Team, and we are here at her amazing studio, and I'm so grateful for you having us.
Thank you. We're excited to have you guys here.
Tell me, because you're going to do it better than me. Give me a little background on everything.
Okay, so when I got out of college, I actually went to school for special effects, makeup, and hair for film, which is so random. But I am from Southern California. I went to school for that. I was doing, the biggest thing I can equate it to is like, think Bridgerton wigs. That's the type of weird stuff that I did in school. I ended up moving to Chicago. I always wanted to live in New York. And then when I came to Chicago the first time, I was like, no. I'm moving to Chicago. Yeah, it's New York is amazing.
I love New York. But after like 48 hours, I'm like, oh God.
Yeah, I feel a minute. Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I love Chicago. People are really nice. Yeah. I've lived here now 22 years, I think, or 23 years. I'm a Chicago. Yeah, I know people think, oh, like I forget that I'm from Southern California.
Sometimes. Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, I'm not. So I've lived here since my 20s, and I worked in finance for a long time, and I did all these. It was such a really random background, but basically at one point in my life, I ended up needing a holiday job, and I went and got a job at Macy's State Street working for Smashbox as a counter manager.
That is a very iconic job.
It was fun. I actually really liked it. And the best part was it was a holiday job, and their holidays there are incredible.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I was the weirdo that was actually excited to be at work, but looking at all the holiday stuff. And I ended up working there for a while. I remember why I liked makeup so much and why I loved doing it, and became a trainer for them, and then kind of started doing my own thing and worked with an agency doing advertisements and television and all of that. And when that would have been, I remember 2008 is when I started there, so 2010. And I just remember at one point I said, when I started doing my own business, that as soon as I have to turn down a really well-paid job because of my corporate job, I'm going to quit. Yeah. So that was kind of my hustle.
I love that.
You know what I mean? I was like, because I don't have the money to just quit.
Sure.
You know? And so one weekend I had to turn down a really, it would have paid me in one weekend what I made in a month.
Oh my gosh.
But I couldn't I had to turn it down because it was a big event that weekend for Smashbox. And I was like, I can't just I'm burning so many bridges if I leave during this. So I stuck it out, gave them my notice right before that event. And, they were really great. I continued to freelance for them, and I continued to help them when there was a woman who got promoted, transitioning, all of that. So I helped them with that. But I started my own job and started working for another bridal business. And in doing so, I had a little bit more experience with the management side and the running of a business side than this other person did. And I remember thinking, this is kind of a shit show. Sorry.
Yeah, but I get it.
I can't keep doing this.
I could do this.
I was like, I was going to go do this myself. But and I just remember being like, shit, if this person can be successful doing this, I should be able to do this. And so I did. And, I actually think I continued to work for them for a little bit, while I built my own thing. And it started off just me. Yeah. Just me, and the initial name of the brand was Kate Johnson Artistry because I needed an LLC.
Sure.
That was it.
And you're like, and the name's always easiest.
Yeah, easy name. And just over time, it grew into a team. I would have people. Chicago was huge for runway shows at the time. I mean, all the time.
Yeah, it was.
Excessively.
Do you remember all the runway shows at Underground?
Yes, I was there a lot. I was
more of the club rat.
Yeah. I was the one doing the body painting on those people. Yeah. So yes, I was behind the scenes, not looking cute, leaving the club while you guys all started partying because I was covered in body paint.
I looked so cute.
Yeah,
I left there, so don't worry.
Yeah, that's fine. And so I was doing a lot of body painting, special effects, and all that kind of stuff, and which is what taught me actually to be really fast. That's probably the thing personally I'm most known for is, I think I'm a great makeup and hair person, but there are definitely people on my team that I think are better than me at that. But I'm fast. Like if you need me to do 10 services in 4 hours, that's fine.
You can do it.
Like, it's not.
Which we were kind of talking about that earlier, which I think is great because if a bride feels like she's behind and you're not really, but like if you can knock them out, that just makes her feel so much more calm about, okay, so we'll start pictures at this time still, you know, keep to her timeline.
And it's like, you want people to feel like it's a luxury experience. Obviously, you want to take your time with them, but there's also like, in my opinion, the most important thing about a wedding morning is getting people out on time.
Yes.
Makeup and hair teams are notoriously running late. At least that's what I hear from photographers.
Over and over.
And it's like, I never want to be the company that is the reason why people are late. And I tell brides all the time, like, you can be late to your wedding. You want to be late to your wedding? I don't really care. You want to be late to your wedding?
I can't start without you.
That's fine. You can be late to your wedding all you want, but it's not going to be because of us.
Right.
Like, that's great. You're not going to turn around and point at us.
Yeah. Well, I am just, I'm so excited that you had us, and congratulations to where you,
thank you,
what you started and what it's become. And so we're drinking espresso martinis.
Yum.
It's good, right?
It's really good.
Okay, so if you've been listening from the beginning of Martini Mondays, this is On the Rocks, and On the Rocks, you should start paying me to.
You should sponsor us.
Just
us. And so I'm
yes, you should sponsor us.
You should sponsor me too.
You know, my mom she was shopping one day and they were on sale at the grocery store, so she just like stocked up and like
that's really good.
The espresso martini was really good. So if you don't want to sit there shaking, you know, the drink and all that kind of stuff, you just pour it right out. So we're enjoying espresso martinis. But so this isn't going to be the last time you're going to see Kate. So we wanted to start off first talking about long-term prep for brides versus short-term prep. Because there's a lot of information out there, and you guys know that's why I wanted to start Martini Mondays that just isn't true. Or like short-term, you don't have to do anything long-term. Just get 3 facials in a week. Start drinking water.
And some people that will work, right?
Sure, if you have amazing genes, God bless you. But so I think that it's not just booking your hair and makeup and then booking your trial. If you want to look a certain way, you also have to start kind of for the year prepping your stuff, right? Or am I?
No, you're absolutely right. And the thing is that I'm going to speak for Chicago. I'm going to assume a lot of big cities. I don't know.
Yeah, no, we usually primarily speak to Chicago, but I think that it would go over.
But like with Chicago, most people are booking makeup and hair a year out, like around a year. I know from 10 months to a year out. Now, not to say we're a team, so we can definitely take weddings much closer, but it just depends on the time of year. But the people, I think, listen, get engaged, book all your vendors, then enjoy your engagement, and go from there. But at least that way people, we have a lot of weddings for next year already. We have a lot of October weddings for 2027 already. And that's a year and a half out, but at least people they get who they want and they can relax and enjoy it.
And then you have to worry about it. You're absolutely right. Because if you get upset that you don't get who you want, well, if you waited, then
I'm reading people that are calling us now about October, and I feel so bad because I know they just don't know.
Yeah.
And they just don't know. In Chicago, Chicago, September and October is the first to book. Like, it just is.
Well, because the weather's beautiful. It really is. I mean,
it's perfect. Yeah. You at least have consistency. Yes. I feel like with summertime, you don't know. Is it going to snow? Is it going to rain? Is it going to be god awfully hot? Winter, it's going to be pretty or it's going to snow. I mean, those are your kind of options.
You're either going to get a blizzard and no one's going to show up, or it's going to be great.
With fall, it's pretty consistently amazing. Like, if it rains, it's weird. And the last couple of years we've had, well, not last year, but a couple of years before that, would snow on Halloween, which was wild. But that was
But weird. That doesn't always happen.
And we do a lot of Halloween makeup in here. We've done several Halloween weddings, but that's just very strange.
How about that?
Halloween weddings are fun.
I'm really interested in that because I'm like, who would get married on Halloween? But it's
people that want to dress up at their reception.
Yeah,
it's great. It's really fun.
Okay, but I know off topic. Sorry.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So definitely, if you know, book as early as you know. It's just like I say with dresses. If you know and it's the dress, buy it. Why are we waiting? Let's just get it and be done.
Yeah. No, it's get into contract. A lot of times people will say too, we'll have people that, again, you can tell they just maybe haven't been in a lot of weddings or they're hearing old information. Yeah. They'll be like, I want to do my trial first before I'm going into contract. And it's like, I get that point of view. Like, I can understand, especially if you haven't been in a lot of weddings, maybe you're just getting your makeup and hair referral from Reddit. We were saying, someone told me, was it you? Someone was telling me today, I keep hearing about you guys on Reddit. I'm like, amazing.
Oh, wow.
Great. Let's thanks to Reddit. Let me figure out how to do that.
That was
that's great. Great. Thank you. But if they don't know, and people don't know, they feel nervous. They don't know me. They don't know the team. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm not holding the date and we're not holding the team. And so by the time you've done your trial, that artist may not be available anymore. So like we might be like, hey, sorry, we have to switch your artist because someone else chose them. And, you know, and it's, I feel like I kind of have to overly explain it to people because I don't want them getting upset coming back and be like, wait, and like, but this
is what happened.
Yeah, this is what's happening, because what if you don't book? And now my artist doesn't have a job that day.
Right, which
they could have. Yeah.
Right. No, absolutely. And, you know, there are some brides that know exactly what to do exactly, but that's kind of very few and far between. You really, you know, so that's why we're here to explain to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so they book with you, they book hair and makeup. Yeah. Because you offer both.
We do. And they can book either or if they, which is also fine, but usually they book both.
So, okay, so there's a bride and they're booking both. Is there anything that you're like, would want to tell your brides, start doing your hair this way, or if you want your hair a certain way, but it has a certain texture, maybe you start doing some type of keratin treatment. I don't know. Like, tell me, what do you think?
Well, I think first and foremost, just kind of depending if you have oily hair or if you have thin hair or fine hair, anything. I mean, if you have like the most ideal, thick, luxurious hair, we are not talking to you right now. Do what you're doing. That's great.
Yeah.
Don't do you.
You're lucky.
Remember your life. I think getting like a scalp detox is good, and it's not necessarily something that you have to go to a salon for. I'm sure some salons offer it, but there's a lot of great product out there where it's just you're removing that excess wax from all the product that we put on hair, because that wax is blocking oxygen from getting into your scalp. You know what I mean? And you got to remember that, as silly as this sounds, like your scalp is the same as the skin on your face. Yeah. You know, you have to treat it with good things, especially for me. I have incredibly fine hair. I wear extensions. The only reason I look like I have hair. But one good piece of advice I got from a dermatologist once, and it seems so obvious, but I was like, oh my gosh, you should put your face, like a duplicate maybe of your face wash in the shower. When you get in the shower, wash your face with your good face wash and get into your scalp, because so many of us put bronzer around our scalp, so like get in there and you're removing the makeup from inside your hairline. And I was like,
so I mean, that's just
about that.
It seems like common sense would you hear it, but we don't hear that. You think like, oh, I'm going to put, you know, my good hair product.
Well,
that's all peroxide, like up in my.
Right, exactly. You know, and so I was like, oh, that's a really good idea. So things like that, you know, start, you know, even doing a clarifying wash maybe once a month if you have oily or fine hair, because again, you're removing that wax buildup. Because we just have a lot of that, you know, as far as taking care of your hair. Again, things that I feel like I learn a lot because I was doing it wrong, even as a person that has been doing this a long time. For fine hair, you need moisture. Don't be using volumizing shampoo and conditioner on fine hair. That has less moisture. It has less. And I feel like for years I always did that because it's not putting as much product on your hair. Right. But actually, if you're using not a heavy moisturizer, but just like a lightly moisturizing, you know, Redken or a Kenra, something that's a good quality but doesn't have to be Orbe, let's say as an example, is you're putting that moisture on, you're taking care of your hair. You're taking care of your scalp. You're giving it the hydration it needs. And it, you know, maybe the first couple days or maybe even the first week, you might feel a little greasy, maybe in the beginning, because your skin is over producing hydration. Because you're stripping it.
Sure.
And this goes to skincare as well. I said, well, listen, I understand. Preaching to the choir here is that you have to over moisturize your skin to an extent. And that first week, your skin is still going to be over producing oil, thinking that you're still dehydrating. It takes a minute. It's not going to just like turn off. It's going to take a week.
That's why you want to start early, because you want your hair and your face to adjust to whatever new treatments. And that makes sense with fine hair, because if you're taking out the moisture, then it's just going to break.
It's just going to break. Exactly. And especially if you're chemically treating it, or you're putting extensions in or any of these things. So you have to take care of it. And you have to think too with, like, I'm going to say with your skin, when you're talking about skincare, especially people who are acne prone. Obviously, if you're acne prone because of hormones, you know, talk to your dermatologist. If you're acne prone because, I don't know, well, if hormones really, I mean, it depends on how old you are.
I mean, I guess stress sometimes can bring it up. I mean, you know, but Yeah, acne prone really is from...
And people will be like, I'm hydrating, I'm drinking all this water. Okay, that's not hydrating your skin. Drinking water is flushing your skin. It is like detoxing it. It's not hydrating it. Yeah. Now, if you're super dehydrated, right, of course, like your skin's going to deflate. Okay, right. But drinking a bunch of water is not going to hydrate your skin. It's going to flush toxins out. Yeah. You still need to, you know, put the right types of moisturizer on it. And so I always say, listen, your skin is the biggest organ on your body, right? So even though it's obviously our outside organ, think about it as the food that you eat and the water that you drink. Mm-hmm. You can't just, you know, eat food that maybe like fruit and expect that water to keep you hydrated. You're going to die, right? Your kidneys are going to die. You're like, all these things are going to die. Yeah. Same thing with your skin. You need a water-based moisturizer and an oil. You need to use both because then that's balancing you out. Yeah. Think of it as like the food and the water that you ingest, because it's going to balance you out. So an oil at night, and you know, again, and you're going to wake up, you're going to be a grease monkey for that first week. It's okay. Nobody's staring at you while you're sleeping, hopefully.
But we're adjusting. That's why you're starting again. You're starting early because you got to see what works. And if you do break out a little bit, then you're not breaking out 2 weeks before your wedding.
Right. And it's unless you're having an allergic reaction, which of course, again, good reasons to test things out early. Mm-hmm. You're breaking out because a lot of those things are underneath your skin anyway, ready to come out. And to get it out. Yeah. Get it out and let it readjust. Yeah. Which is why we'll talk about these things, but using like alpha beta peels and like different things like that, which is just really just sloughing that dead skin off faster to get things to come out.
Yeah. So you're pulling away at the surface in a good way to just reveal better skin.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, with that, so we start with that, and then when do you tell your girls, like, okay, now we've been doing all this with your hair and makeup, and we're ready for a trial?
Right. So typically we at the Bridal Beauty Team like doing trials 2 to 3 months before weddings. Okay. The reason that we suggest that, it really honestly has nothing to do with hair and skin. I mean, hopefully this is a good thing that they've already been working on that, but it's mostly because I feel that a couple months before your wedding, you've kind of had all the inspiration that you've seen. You've maybe been to some weddings. Right. You're not going to start overthinking it. You're not going to start second guessing yourself. Yes. Unlike a dress, where a dress, like you have to get it 8 months in advance or whatever, right?
Absolutely. Like, because it takes 6 to 8 months.
But how many people do you hear say like, oh, I have dress regret, or like, you know, they start second guessing themselves on the dress, but they can't do anything about it because you're done. Like you sign an ironclad contract, girl, you are done. Well, there's no time to order another dress. You know what I mean? There's not time. This is makeup and hair, though. It's not a tattoo. It comes off. We can change it. Right. Like it's not that serious. Right. And I want you to have thought all the things, like gotten it figured out. We do really long trials. This is something that I know we do very differently than a lot of companies. We do a 3-hour trial. Now, you don't have to do a 3-hour trial. Like sometimes people come in and out, no big deal. Right. But we schedule enough time because I want you to be able to play around. I want you to be able to try 2 or 3 different hairstyles if you want. That. I want you to be able to adjust your makeup. And in those 2 or 3 different hairstyles, like understand, and I do very much tell this to our brides on the phone calls that we have ahead of time. It goes out in an email, and our artists talk about it that, listen, because we want to try 2 or 3 different hairstyles, we're not going to prep your hair with all this product. We're not going to like maybe put as many pins in because we're just going to take it out. Right. So like it's 52 weekends. Yeah. It's perfect. And I've even done at times like 6 or 7 hairstyles, and you'd be like, how do you do that? Well, it's because I'm not pinning it. I'm literally holding the bun. Do you want a hair? 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 Like with my finger, it's more, we're looking for a silhouette.
It's a true trial.
It's a true trial. A trial is to try things. Yes, it is not to make it look perfect.
No,
it is to try things.
So don't plan your shower the day of your trial. Please don't do that.
It happens. Like I did this. This is what we also don't oftentimes, we really can't oftentimes do trials on weekends because we're doing weddings.
Of course.
And people get upset. I'm like, but if I have a Saturday morning available, you should be wondering why I'm available on a Saturday morning. Unless it's January. Yeah, exactly. Like, why am I available on June Saturday morning? Right. Like that's a bigger problem, you know? Yeah. So I told them, like, it's not that we don't, we want to help you for your shower. If somebody's available, it just might not be the artist for your day. So let's just not worry about, you know, and I don't do as many weddings myself because I'm running the business. So oftentimes I'm the person helping on a Saturday or Sunday morning for a shower or whatever the situation may be, because I can run in and do it.
You do it quickly.
I can do it quickly. And also like, I'm not at a wedding, you know, or as many. I probably do 10 or 15 weddings a year myself, but,
which is still a lot.
But I mean,
weddings are a totally different beast than any other time you're doing something artistic.
And I think people just don't understand that. Like even artists, when we are interviewing people, you know, I say this a lot to artists that I'm interviewing and to even to brides. I can teach you how to do makeup and hair. I cannot teach you how not to be an asshole. Excuse my language.
You're so
that was your mom's job.
And your mom did a shitty job.
Right. And you were at least in your 20s. If you're coming to work for us, I would assume. And most people are in their 20s and 30s. Yeah. And like, you have to be able to handle a bride. You have to be able to handle somebody who's nervous. You have to be able to handle somebody who's maybe never had their makeup and hair done by somebody else. And this is your job. Your job is 75% learning to listen and learning to interpret and learning to explain why something, this is why we do it this way, this is why we don't do it this way, and based on what they're saying, not based on what TikTok says, because Taylor doesn't know. Like, I mean, some things they really know and you learn from cool things.
Sure, but you gotta really filter through when it comes to bridal, because you know it, beast. I know it, it's a really different beast, and we become that person. Like, my big thing with my bridal styling and Martini Mondays is I am your best friend. Mm-hmm. I am the best friend that knows what to do for you. I'm not the maid of honor best friend, because we know how to calm you down. We are that therapist. We are that person saying, relax, you're on time, you know, because it's the most emotional day. Yeah. One of the most emotional days you have. And you know how to deal with that.
Is it bipartisan? That's not the right word. We're a third party. Like, it doesn't. We're not. Yeah. It doesn't. It doesn't.
No judgment.
No judgment.
It doesn't affect us.
Yeah. I mean, I also like the thing. I just want you to like me after your wedding. That's all. Like, that's my big plan here. Just to like me after the wedding.
No, and that's it. You want to always say, because here's the thing too. If somebody said, you know, I didn't want to go by Alexandra anymore for a dress because she forced me into a dress. Well, what does that do for me?
Right.
Whatever.
No, exactly. And I mean, we just want you to feel good. We want to explain to you why certain things are like. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be so controversial right now with other makeup artists.
I love it. Let's do it. Do it.
Such a dumb thing to be controversial about, but I feel like I'm banging my head against a wall. Is for some reason right now, you have a bunch of makeup artists that are super anti-airbrush.
Why?
I have a lot of opinions, but I love airbrush. I do too. Okay, so here's the thing. There's a lot of looks out there right now with Pinterest with this like glowy, dewy vibe. Okay, great.
But that's not real.
It's not real life. Okay, first of all, it's not real life. One, you want to go to lunch like that? You want to go to dinner like that? You want to go to a friend's party like that? Yeah. Amazing. I can do that all day long. I can hydrate the bejesus out of you. You're going to be the most hydrated person on the face of the planet. Great. Yeah. I love it. You're glowy. You're fabulous. Sure. Amazing. I need you as a bridal makeup artist to look like this in 16 hours. Yeah. That does not work. I mean, it does to an extent. Like, you got to really set people in a certain order. You got to use a couple different sprays. You can do it, okay? But what people are finding is to get this incredibly dewy look, and when you're going on Pinterest and you're seeing these super close-ups of people, and they're all like, that is not a real person. That is a model, okay, or AI, okay? That is, and the way you can tell, I'm gonna tell us. Gist, okay? This is how you can tell if somebody is AI or a model. Zoom in to their iris, okay? Oh. If you see a ring, it's probably a model, because there may be a ring light in front of the person's face, right? If it's a square, it's probably AI, because AI hasn't quite figured out how to do the little ring in the iris yet. So there's like a little square of light in the eye. Okay. I mean, I kind of think also AI, you can usually
I can kind of tell.
But they're getting good.
AI is great the way they do it, honestly, but you can tell.
And like, I'm down for you giving me an AI or a model, like, as an inspiration. I feel like, I really love this. Yeah, let's do it. Great. Yeah. But you're not going to look like that person if you don't look like that person, which is also the issue with YouTube, right?
Right.
People are like, people ask me, why don't you do lessons on YouTube? And I think about it sometimes, but I'm like, but unless somebody looks like me, the application is different.
It's so different.
No. You don't have the same face structure as I have, so it's different.
It's like when I go to my hair person and I show them a picture of, Jennifer Aniston's hair, and then I don't look like that. I'm like, well, duh, you don't look like her. So
you don't have the same hair, exactly. But it's so funny, and I think with Airbrush, the thing that I like about Airbrush, and this is why we include it in all of our packages, you absolutely don't have to do it. It's absolutely fine if you don't like it. The problem we run into is a lot of artists don't want to actually learn how to do it. And when Airbrush was really, really popular, which really has been my entire career until like 6 months ago.
This is news to me.
New. It's weird. Like I said, I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And, maybe someone will tell me that I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But so I would say if somebody doesn't want to do airbrushes because they don't want to invest in the product, they don't want to invest in the gun, and they don't want to invest in a class on how to do it. Because if you look online and learn how to do it, you are going to do it wrong. And when I have a bride say, I don't want airbrush, I always say, tell me why.
Yeah.
And they go, well, I did it once and it was really thick. And I said, then you had somebody that didn't know what they were doing.
Right.
Because the point of airbrush is that it's so incredibly thin, you can see every freckle if you want to. It's not going to go running down your face. It's not going to, I think you have a wall, and think of using a can of spray paint versus a brush of spray paint. One is heavier, it goes running down the wall. One is such a fine mist that it stays, right? If you need a lot of coverage, you don't just put on more airbrush. You do a full face of foundation, and then you airbrush on top of it. Because
the airbrush makes it stay, correct?
I mean, that is one of the things. One of the things. It's such a fine mist that it's not heavy. It's not weighed down.
Right.
It also it mimics like perfect skin. I mean, it's why they call it camera ready, because it makes you camera ready.
And I mean, you only
I don't know what's going on
filters you want on your wedding day.
And the only thing I can think of is there are different formulas of airbrush. There's really only like 3 main formulas of airbrush. Not that I'm sure there's more, but there's 3 main ones. One is, there's 2 by Temp 2, which is one of the brands, and 1 by Ket. So the Ket one is a water base, like a pure water base. And I think that one is really good for humid weather or if you're really oily. Yeah. Because it's a water base. If you're drier, or if in my opinion, if you're in Chicago, you might look a little dry. Okay. You might look a little.
Yeah, you do. You probably, you do.
I started my career using it, and I was like, why isn't this working? Yeah. Now, Temp 2, again, we're in Chicago, so I'm basing it off of the weather here. Right. Okay? If you are in Colorado, you're going to want to use a totally different, because it's so dry in Colorado, right? Yeah. So in my opinion, the Temp 2 is the other brand, and they have a silicone base, and then they have their hybrid base called Perfect Canvas. Perfect Canvas is what I like to use because I think it's good for oily or dry skin. It has me adjust setting sprays based on their skin, or adjust the moisturizer on their skin. Yeah. But with the silicone base, if you are in a humid area, you're going to look like an oil slick. It's not going to work. But if you're in Colorado, where it is the driest, you want that. Every moisture is being sucked out of your skin. It's going to be gorgeous. Yeah. Right? So you just have to know. So anyway, so I think that there's different reasons to use it. I think it's the best thing to do. Again, and I include it in our pricing because I think the world's biggest scam is upcharging on airbrush. I think it's because it is a tool. It is a tool in your kit, no different than every blush you have in there, every literal brush you have in your thing. You should have all the tools of the trade in your kit. Yeah. And yes, is it expensive? Sure, but it lasts a long time. Well, and if you know how to color match correctly and mix your colors, because you know the color wheel and you understand like which makeup artist should know, right? You should only need to maybe buy 6 foundation colors and then you mix and match. Yeah.
And doesn't this work? Okay, so I do want to talk about spray tan because one, you offer spray tan. You have a whole area in your studio, which is amazing. But a lot of times, like I love airbrush because if I got spray tan, I want it all to blend. I don't want to look like I'm cut off at the neck.
Well, and people will say it does. I mean, I think because it's thinner, right? Yeah. So like, I mean, obviously the people will come in and sometimes they say, I don't want to spray tan on your face, which I think I don't know. Again, I don't know about. Well, we use an organic product, so I think a lot of places do. So it shouldn't do.
If you're a hand spraying like you are, and most are.
Yeah, and so like you shouldn't turn orange. That's like we could do a whole lesson on this spray tanning situation, but you want it. You just do your face, spray tan your face. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And so, and even if you decide not to spray tan your face, your foundation has to now match your chest. Right. You can't look like a floating head, right? But it does throw people a lot, like when we match their chest and they're like, oh my God, I look so dark. It's like, well, you didn't match your chest.
Right. Like, you want it to be tan here.
You want it to be the whole thing to be tan. Yeah. Right. So I personally think with an airbrush, you're keeping it thin so you're not creating like that floating head vibe. Right. Even if you match your chest, the texture is different. So when somebody comes in and says, oh, I have a pimple on my chest or I have a scar on my chest or something, can you cover it with makeup? My response always is, yeah. Well, hopefully, yes. Yeah. Yes, to an extent. Right. I don't want to put too much makeup on your chest because for some reason, just the texture difference becomes really obvious. And it's not really something that you can see with your naked eye. I've noticed it on camera where I'm like, okay, I put concealer there. Okay. So I learned that early on. And so it's like, okay, we'll airbrush this. So we're more like fading it out.
Yeah.
Not like covering it.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's an art. You're blending, you're fading, you're creating. I mean, makeup is an art.
It is. It is. And we love doing it. And I know I feel like we totally got off topic with the long-term, short-term thing. But
no, that's what I wanted to know about spray tanning.
Yeah, spray tanning. Well, spray tanning is amazing, and I think that it's great. And I think especially if you're going to do it, your fiance needs to do it too. I don't care if your fiance is a man, it's a woman. I do not care. I know. They look so white next to you.
So Jason, my husband, I look back at pictures and I'm like, why did I tell him to go tanning? Because I'm naturally more dark than him because I'm Greek. Yeah. And he's a mix of things. But it's not Mediterranean, that's for sure. Yeah. And I'm like, so that is the best. You guys, that is the best advice ever.
It's so bad. My husband my husband actually had the flu, like pretty bad for a couple weeks before our wedding. So he already had that not helping. Then we got married in February, which didn't help. Okay. And then I got a light spray tan. Yeah. He looks almost sickly in some of the photos next to me. Yeah. Because it was like he had been sick, but then also he was
still
so
and pale. It's the dead of winter.
Yeah, it's winter. Yeah.
With spray tan, do you suggest a trial with that too? Because I feel so bad. I have a little bit of a horror story. I'm not going to say who exactly, but one of my brides, I was dressing her and her spray tan, she'd never tried this place before, and her spray tan started, she was sweating because she was just a sweater and nervous. It started to bleed onto her dress, and she had a clean silk dress. I had to do everything in my power to remove it. No, right? It's like I have been to so many weddings. I've been in so many weddings. I have never seen that ever.
I almost wonder though, not to be devil's advocate here, but I'm almost wondering if they didn't give her the right instructions to take care of her tan.
Yeah, sure.
Or she didn't listen.
Right.
Or versus like the product necessarily. You really do need to listen to the instructions. We typically tell people to do a spray tan 3 to 4 days before. So if it's a Saturday, we're usually in here, like Wednesdays during wedding season are like, we're pretty much back to back doing spray tans. Yeah. They're fast, but we tell people because you want it to like settle into your skin. Yeah. Realize it is staining the top layer of your skin. Yeah. So you have a whole set of instructions, and it is a little inattentive our instructions, and you don't fully have to listen to it. But I would say like, if you do this,
if you don't want it on your dress.
Well, and it will stay. If you follow these instructions, your tan will last 2 weeks. Yeah. Now it will be a slow fade, right? But there's no reason why it shouldn't last. Now, on the flip side, if they go on a honeymoon right away, I also just understand the minute you jump into that pool, your tan is gone. Your spray tan's gone. The chlorine for some reason. It's like you're going to see a brown thing coming off in the pool.
It's like alcohol.
It just automatically
takes off. Yeah. Because it's a cleaner.
It's a cleaner. Yeah. Right. So, but yeah, no, I think more of a test should be because, one, just make sure you like it. But I think that if you're going to, or thinking about doing one for your wedding day, or if you're a person that tans easily and your wedding is in summer, and you're doing your trial maybe in spring or in winter, get one before your trial just so that you know what this is going to look like.
Right colors. Because the right shade.
It's not for us because we know, right? And 99.9% of the time, we see people 2 or 3 months before their wedding. They're a different skin tone. We're not writing down the foundation color because it's going to change, right? It's just making sure that you look the same. But it's for your sake because people will bring in these photos of these like very warm toned, like bronzy, even very lightly bronzed, right? Like they're fair, but they still have this like glow about them. Yeah. And that they're really white and they come in for a trial. And I sometimes would call me like, well, I just look really white. I'm like, because you're really white. I mean, it doesn't seem like that, but I go,
that is your race and you have to accept it, okay?
And if we put a bunch of bronzer on you, you're going to look crazy. You're going to look crazy.
And the shadows that are going to
it's going to look crazy. And then you're going to get mad because you look crazy. So I was like, come in, do a light spray tan. Even if you don't do one before your wedding, because you know you naturally will get more tan.
Sure.
It's totally fine.
Let's know the shades.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what they should do like a couple weeks before their wedding.
Yeah. So I think, I always want to make sure I tell people this. So this is actually going to be like one of the first things that you do, maybe a year out, and then we'll go to a couple weeks. If you have a dermatologist or you're a person that is semi even acne prone, get an appointment for the week of your wedding with your dermatologist.
Oh, yes,
book an appointment.
Yes.
Book an appointment. And you may not need it, and they may charge you $50 because you don't go, whatever, right? But getting an appointment with your dermatologist can be hard. Yeah. So what if you have a huge breakout the week of your wedding? They can go and put like,
they do, it's like a cortisone
shot. Yeah. They can do a shot. They can do something last minute to just to like, give you a steroid, something to make it go away right away. So just get that appointment on the books. A lot of dermatologists do this. They know it. Yeah. If you don't know somebody, I know somebody in the close suburbs.
Listen, if you have that kind of skin, you have a very close relationship with your dermatologist anyways, because you're dealing with that all the time. I know from my own experience. They're going to book that appointment for you because they're going to want you to feel as beautiful and comfortable as you possibly can. That's what they're good
That's
for.
what they're going to do.
Yeah.
The other thing that I would say you want to do a couple weeks before the wedding is if you're a person that's going to get Botox, I mean, please do not do these things the first time before your wedding. Yeah. But, get your Botox done, get your hydrofacial, get your, like, a little bit of a deeper facial. Just understand that, like, you need to do these things, like a month before so that, like, your skin can adjust. Yeah. Now, if you're doing these things all the time, I mean, you know what your skin is. It's not a big deal.
Right. But you're still not going to want to get your eyebrows done the week of. You're still not going to want to do, like, an aggressive facial,
the week of the wedding.
Even if it is something you've done before. Yeah. If it's something that's really intense on your skin,
just give it a couple days. Yeah. No, I agree. And then really moisturize the crap out of your skin the week of your wedding, because here's the deal. I've had brides say to me, I actually had this happen a couple months ago, where after a trial that didn't go great, and it was okay, but it was like, it wasn't a bad trial, but it wasn't, they had concerns after the trial. Mm-hmm. And they're like, your artist didn't do like a whole lot of prep for the skin. I was like, well, yeah. And they're like, why? And I said, well, because one, that's why we told you to come with moisturizer on. Right. And the reason that is because the minute you get out of the shower, you throw your hair up in a towel, wrap a towel on your face. The first thing you should do is be putting moisturizer on your face. In general, great tip. Because your pores are open, your skin is warm. Put that moisturizer on. Yeah. If you let your skin dry, now you're moisturizing dead skin. It's not doing anything, right? So that's just not helping. So number one, that's the reason we tell you that. Number two is that it takes some time for that moisturizer to truly soak into your skin. I can't really just plop makeup right on top of it.
Right. You need it to settle.
You need it to settle. So sometimes, if I see somebody and feel like they have really dry skin, I'll say, I'm going to put some extra moisturizer on you, and we're just going to sit here and talk for a minute. Yeah. And because I'm I need some time to really get in there before I put makeup on. Mm-hmm. But you need to be really overly moisturizing your skin. Really use those oils at night.
So what kind of oil do you need?
So I
use a vitamin C oil. Is that?
Yeah, just make sure you use it at night, right? You don't use vitamin C during the day because you get sunburned. Yeah, so vitamin C is amazing, but it's active, right? And so it's sloughing the dead skin off of your skin. So you don't want to use that. It's amplifying the sun on your skin. Okay. So you have to make sure you use it at night, because then the active ingredient is calming down before you're out in the sun.
You know what? I'm not going to say the brand that I use, but you guys should put that on your direction.
I know, you're funny though, because, so I listened to this other podcast, and it's so funny that you said it's because the podcast host would just, and I typed in the notes, I was like, you're supposed to do it at night. And she was saying it was an oil, so I wonder if it's the one. She didn't say it was.
Because I do love it. I'm not going to badmouth it, but sage, it's just a night oil.
Yeah, it should be at night. I mean, unless you're sitting in an office all day, I guess. But even still, you go outside, so I don't know. I'm also the person, oh gosh, I'm about to get so much hate on your podcast for this, so I apologize. But I'm also
hate. This is a
don't
free
hate me for what I'm about to say.
Mm-mm. We don't hate anybody here.
I don't love SPF. I know, please come at me.
I love you, Tan.
It's not what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
But same. Don't put. But here's the reason. Here's the thing. If you're going to be out in the sun all day, let's say you're going to go to a festival, you're going to go, whatever, you're going to be outside all day, you're going to the farmer's market, whatever. Yes, use your SPF, okay? Don't put your makeup on. SPF in makeup is a scam, okay? It's not doing anything, okay? And PSA, if you have cancer, someone in your family has cancer, do not listen to what I am saying. This is conversation, okay? Yeah. No.
You listen to your doctor.
You listen to your doctor. But the reason I'm saying this is I want you to think a little bit differently. When you use SPF on your body at the beach, what does it say you have to do?
stay out of the water for a certain amount of time?
And reapply it every
8 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
Or, yeah.
So when you put your SPF on at the house, before you put your makeup on, before you have your coffee and breakfast and you leave the house,
that's how you do it.
Probably been 80 minutes.
At least.
It's no longer doing anything.
Right.
And you have now makeup on.
So you're not going to
reapply your SPF. Yeah. Now, in about 2010, 2011, I'm sorry if I'm wrong with this. I'm just trying to remember where I was in life when this happened. The FDA outlawed powder SPF because they said that they could not prove with FDA that when you put the powder on your face, it was actually hitting your whole face. Mm-hmm. And so they thought it was kind of like they didn't want to like make promises that couldn't be proven. Right? Because of the powder. Right. So, but then I think people realize, like, okay, so now I'm just not wearing SPF because you're going to put powder over your face. Like, if you're going to wear makeup and you really need to be concerned about SPF because you live in Miami or you're going to be outside or whatever.
Sure.
You use a powder SPF. That is good. It's mineral-based powder SPF.
Yeah.
You can put it on top of your makeup. Absolutely. But you need to do it every hour. Right? So, unless you're doing this,
so definitely don't worry about it on your wedding day.
Don't worry. Oh, my God. And please don't worry about it on your wedding day because SPF, the way that SPF works is it bounces light. So that's why your face sometimes looks white in photos when you are at the beach because it's reflecting the light. So we will always tell you, listen, I understand that you're an SPF advocate. Like, yes, absolutely. So happy for you. You're being really good to your skin. Yeah. On your wedding day, we're just going to need it to not be that way.
So how do you want someone to show up? Hair, makeup, what do you want?
We send out really explicit instructions. So what we say is, I want you to come with very clean, fully blown dry hair. Okay. Very important. Blown dry hair is important. Do not let your hair air dry unless you're naturally curly and you want it to be curly.
So clean your hair that morning. Don't do the overnight silly thing.
Don't ever. Or no. And if you have really fine hair and you've talked to your artist and they want you to put some mousse in it or something like that before you blow it dry.
So it's situational.
It's situational. But I want you to have fully clean, blown dry hair. I understand you're damaging your hair. It's fine. It's one day. You're going to survive. Okay. And then also blown dry hair, the cuticle expands. So it's going to look fuller. It is going to hold better. And again, I know that it's expanded because you're damaging it. It's fine. It's your wedding day. It'll be okay. Sure. Now, again, if you have naturally curly hair and you're planning on using your natural curls, disregard this part. You know that. I know that. We're going to tell you to diffuse those curls. Come with full-on moisturizer on. I can, because here's the deal. I can remove some of that moisturizer if it's too much, right? That's easy. Yeah. I can dirty your hair with dry shampoo if it's too clean. I cannot clean your hair. I cannot tell you how foul it is. Several times a year, all of us hairstylists talk about this. We'll show up to wedding day. Someone comes up, they got wet hair, and we're like, we need you to go blow it dry because I don't have time, to blow it dry.
Right.
And they come back and their hair's still wet. And you're like, hair's still wet. And they go, well, it's not really wet. It's just dirty. Ew. Okay. And that's when we have to go like this.
So what do you do?
It's so dirty that we think it's wet. We tell them to go take a shower. Now, here's the problem. Sometimes, and I've had this happen.
Who are you?
It's so gross, you guys. It's so gross. And I'm sorry, but I don't say this on wedding days when it happens. It smells. It's gross. It makes all of our brushes smell.
Are they like the weird cousin that the bride had to have, or else
somebody that decided they were told they needed to have dirty hair and they decided they needed to have 3-day dirty hair? Oh. It's so gross. And then and sometimes people don't have time to shower, or we're at a venue where there is no shower. There is not enough dry shampoo in the world to clean people's hair sometimes. So we do what we can do, and then oftentimes I have to just very delicately say, okay, here's the thing.
I'm dying.
Like, you don't even know how your customer service voice comes on real hardcore because you're just like, I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to touch their hair because it's so disgusting. It's so gross. And I can't. It's one thing if you touch your own hair and it's that dirty, but when you're touching somebody else's hair, you're just like you almost, in the smell of on a hot curling iron, it makes you want to vomit. It's so bad. And I'm sorry, I know this is a really rude thing to say, but
but people wash your hair. Listen, I will go a few days without washing my hair because I hate doing my hair. I know it's not great for you. I will use dry shampoo, maybe a little too much. But
I'm on day 3 right now.
I actually washed my hair this morning. But anyways, if I won't now until Friday. But But if I'm having somebody else touch my hair and I'm standing up in a wedding, I'm washing my hair that day.
Right. It's not cute. And then sometimes I've had to say to people, like, I remember the first time it happened, I looked at her and I said, now, part of this was too, they were so drunk that I had to pull them out. Practically had to pull them out of bed.
We're a drunk, dirty person.
Yeah. So I was like, I can give you French braids. I don't know what to do. Like, I need a style that I would normally wet your hair or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? I've done like tight buns. Like, because it's all you can do, because I will fry your hair if I put a hot color. Like, I'm going to burn and break off your hair.
You're never supposed to put oil in your hair before.
Right. So if you have natural oil like that, yeah, you're going to burn it.
It's not cute.
Okay, so people, listen, wash your hair and come with moisturizer on.
Yep. And if you're going to do those little patchy things, because everybody thinks those are so cute, cool, great, love it, do your thing. You gotta wash it off before we do your makeup, because it leaves a residue that will make your like concealer and stuff like pill up.
I think that might be why mine actually, because sometimes my hyaluronic acid gel, if I put too much of my eye stuff on, that's when it starts to kind of like you get clumpies.
Yeah, it's just pilling up. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Well, this was so. I could sit and talk for like another hour.
like we did. We were like, okay, we're going to talk about like what's the long term and short term. Yeah.
Oh my god, my podcasts are usually 20-30 minutes.
We're gonna here's the thing. There's so many beauty related things, and I've been in industry. I've been doing this now it's my 17th year, and it's like you want people to have the best experience.
Yes.
You're the thing that starts your morning. Okay, like this is setting the tone. This is setting the tone. And you need people who are ready to love on you.
Yep.
You need people who have a positive attitude.
Yep.
You need people who are excited to be there.
Yeah.
You know,
need the vibes all around. Because if you don't, then
it's not going good.
It's hard for a bride in the moment to like regroup, change her emotions. You just can't, because it's constant. The day does not stop.
Yeah,
so if you start with the best people around you, then you're good for the rest
and
of the
we say, listen, like buffer in some extra time. But one thing that I really, and I know this again, it depends on the team you go with or who you're going with.
Sure.
I say, listen, I know how much time my team needs, and I buffer in a half an hour at the end and a half an hour in the beginning. We do not need that half an hour in the beginning. If I say we're starting at 9, but we're arriving at 9, we're starting at 9:30, let me tell you what my team does. We arrive at 9, we set up, it's 9:10, 9:15, we look at you, do you guys want to start? Because it buffers in an extra 15 minutes, right?
If you're ready to go, let's go.
If we're in that extra 30 because, I don't know, construction traffic, and now one of us is running late because we couldn't get to the hotel. It buffers time for us. Right. Things happen, right? Things happen.
You're in Chicago. You're driving downtown. It happens.
Something happens, and it allows that time. But also, a bride will sometimes come to us, or a planner who doesn't know us will come like, well, I need 45 minutes for hair and an hour for makeup. It's like, why?
Right.
Like, okay, I understand that one team that you used a long time ago made everybody like, cool, I can understand that, but I'm just going to let you know that we're going to be done 2 hours early and we're leaving.
Right.
I'm not staying.
No.
Like, and I don't want to sound rude, but like,
I'm in the contract.
I'm done.
You move on with the day. That's what your hair and makeup in the morning, and later, unless they pay you to stay.
Right, which is fine.
Totally,
but like, just trust that you are hiring experts for a reason. Right. They know how to do their job, and especially I'll say in Chicago, I'm sure other cities as well. But firemen,
what's happening?
Is that like if listen to the people who know how to do their job. Yes. In Chicago.
That's a reason you're hiring them.
There's a reason you're hiring them. And if they've been in this industry longer than 5 years, they know what they're doing, because people will quit before the 5th year. Yes. They just will, because they learn they can take it or they can't. Yeah. And they will burn every bridge, and they will screw up their own industry, own business. So just listen to your other vendors when they suggest people, because they know what they're doing. There's a reason that we've survived more than 5 years, because
it's not an easy industry.
It's a hard industry. Our job is to make it look easy.
Right. And if you let us do our job, it will be easy for you.
Yeah.
Okay, we want to talk to Kate again. So if you have questions, what do you want to know?
Please,
DM me, DM Kate. I'm going to put everything up there, but you tell us your Instagram, your website.
So our website is the Bridal Beauty Team, like the Bridal Beauty Team. And our Instagram, just look up the Bridal Beauty Team. You're gonna be like, it says Bridal Artistry Team. Yes, because someone already had the Bridal Beauty Team and they haven't posted in 5 years and only have one post. Don't get me on that bandwagon. But it's okay. They wouldn't answer when I tried to reach out. Or you can look at, I'm sometimes a collaborator on those posts when we're talking about things like when I'm quoted in magazines. So like you can reach out to me. I am the person though that answers the emails in the Bridal Beauty Team and in my personal. So I'm happy to chat with anybody. Yeah.
So let us know. If you want to hear, we can talk and give you all the information you need.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay, cheers. Thank you again.
Thank you. I'm going to be so awake today.
Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Okay. I learned so much.
Oh, good.
So much. Especially about the water, too.